Ann Coulter wrote an article today, and I normally don't talk about her because she's so nasty.
Oh, who's
but Ann Coulter, political commentator, and she's just like the face of Nazi America, basically.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's so disgusting, the stuff she writes, inflammatory stuff about blacks and how we should go into Arab countries, Muslim countries, and kill or convert them to Christianity.
Oh, for God's sakes.
She wrote an article defending Donald Trump because he said that judge who's presiding over the Trump University case, saying like it's a scam school, Donald Trump said that judge is biased because he's of Mexican descent, and therefore, of course, he's going to be against him. Oh. And people are saying that you can't say he's not qualified because he's of Mexican descent. That's racist.
Yeah, you can say that.
And Ann Coulter's saying, no, that's not the case. And in fact, there's nothing racist about it. And look at what people have been saying about white judges and juries for the past 40 years, that they're very racist. And then she brought up the case of Glenn Ford in the article. You saw the video about Glenn Ford. Remember, he was wrongly convicted of, I think, a murder of a store owner or something, and the prosecutor apologized. Remember, you saw that Marty Stroud, he apologized.
Yes.
And Glenn Ford was exonerated, lived another 15 months because he had terminal lung cancer.
Right.
And
I remember that.
There's still a lawsuit pending to try and get compensation for him. She said how there was such a outrage over Glenn Ford's wrongful conviction, but she said, let's look at the facts, why they convicted him. And she went through all details that incriminated him, supposedly. Like 2 friends said he was the robber who killed somebody or something. But, and I'm going to link to the video, Marty Stroud, Glenn Ford's prosecutor, who was out drinking and celebrating after he got Glenn Ford convicted, he said on the video, if I knew then what...
I know now.
What I know now, basically, if we had actually checked the evidence, he said there wouldn't have been enough evidence to arrest you, much less try you. That's the prosecutor himself, and apologizing for what his role in it. Because you can imagine he feels deep shame. I mean, in a way, he did the right thing by apologizing, but how can you ever forgive taking 30 years on death row, too? He was one of the longest living inmates on death row. And death row, the actual death row is separate from the rest of the prison. It's terrible. You're in solitary confinement, basically 23 hours a day. The air is bad, the food is bad. He was getting close to his execution date at times, and then it got delayed. And he was, the whole time, what could he think? You know, his family was growing old, dying, and everything. And on top of that, there was an all-white jury in that case, too, in Louisiana. And Marty Stroud said you must have felt very alone then when it was an all-white jury because of the racial bias. And think about it, the black people faced, especially low-income black people, in court. Because it's easy to take advantage of it. And Ann Coulter, she just says, well, look at this. There's no basis to say white people can't be on juries and judges. And she totally just glosses over that point because, of course, that's how you get to be who she is. You don't look at the facts and the fact that...
How can somebody write stuff like that unless, that's painful and wrong? I mean, I don't...
You see her face and it's like it belongs on a Nazi propaganda poster. For Hitler Youth or something, come join us. Because she didn't even acknowledge that Marty Stroud, the prosecutor himself, said there wasn't even enough evidence to arrest you if we had actually looked at it. They were eager to just convict someone.
I saw that night they were celebrating. Even if somebody is wrong.
You didn't see that, but see, it painted such a picture. I told you, I read it to you that Marty Stroud said that, but it paints such a picture. It gets so strong you think you saw it. Because he said now it's shameful what he did.
But even if somebody is wrong and is in jail and deserves to be in jail,
you should never celebrate putting someone to death.
You never celebrate.
It's never a good thing.
Not even in jail
for years. Because then it's not just one family, it's 2 families that lose someone.
You don't take pleasure out of someone's misery and
well, look, it's not, because then it's no good result. Somebody's still dead, and then it's not just the one family that lost someone, it's 2 families. And you could never change that. The family all ends up dealing with it too.
You don't, even like I said, even if somebody is wrong and deserves to be in jail, leave it alone. Do not go out and celebrate somebody's agony.
Anyways, okay,
destiny.
You said it. But Marty Stroud, you saw, I think I showed you the video too, he even went to Glenn Ford's house afterwards and apologized to him, and Glenn Ford had to have volunteers caring for him 24/7 because he could barely afford a place to live, and it was a small little place after he was out of prison, so he couldn't even enjoy his freedom.
Yeah, so
And Ann Coulter's like bragging and saying, look, they had evidence to convict him. You can't blame them. All right, fine. You have evidence to convict every poor black person you want because it's racist to say white people have a bias in jury. I'm not saying every white person. I'm saying there's so many cases where that happens and the outcome is bad. And then you look at black people and say, well, look, the evidence is there. We can't blame the juries.
Wait a minute. And she said...
But the juries are tainted by that vision that people like her present in the media and that image of black people being criminals and, being welfare frauds and all that.
But let me say this, and you say she's Christian and believe in God?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then she's not Christian and believe in God, because when you try to stop somebody like that, Jesus said, I was naked and you clothed me, I was in jail and you visit me? Ha!
It is ironic.
It is ironic.
It's ironic that the Christian story, the central event of Christianity, is an innocent man being executed. And here she is
she
saying, well, we had evidence to execute this guy.
That I was in prison and you visit me? No. Oh, God, she is nobody.
It's ironic. Anyways,
it gives me an icky feeling right here, okay? I can't think and get a pleasure on somebody's pain. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not God to forgive everybody and everything, but I don't take pleasure on somebody's pain. I just can't do it, even if it's innocent or even if they're wrong. I just can't do that. That's that. I love you all out there. Listen.